Hi Soul Family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be about like your messages from the fairy realm, and we have 3 fairies to choose from. You'll see the timestamp down below. However, this is going to be one of my favorite videos to make because I love fairy energy. So yeah, let's get straight into the video and I'll see you in whatever fairy that you choose. Alrighty, hi group number 1. So you chose the first fairy. So off the bat, this is my highly creative pile. So you guys are very much meant to do some type of speaking, some type of communication in your life on this planet. I feel like everything that you've been through is for you to channel that into your art, into your creativity. A lot of you guys may still be holding on to deep emotions because it needs to be expressed. It needs to be alchemized by you. And I'm just, if you see me looking over here, I'm looking at the image itself. And I just feel like you guys are either singers, writers, just communicators is what I'm getting, because there's a lot of blue on the screen. And it just looks like she's holding a microphone. And it just feels like she's about to pour out her heart based off of everything that she's experienced. So you guys are very highly sensitive. Just my empaths pile. You feel things on a deep level. So you kind of hold on to things that, when people do you like a certain way, you hold on to it, you internalize that pain. And a message from the fairy realm is to channel that energy into something that you can see, like you can hold, like alchemize the energy. But yeah, I just feel like you guys are going through a major rebirth process where you learn that your sensitivity is not a weakness. You know, it's your superpower. It's what makes you you. So I feel like maybe in the past you guys tried to like hide your feelings or try not to like put your heart out there, but it only made you feel more uncomfortable. You're meant to express yourself in this life. Like, that is your superpower. That is what you're meant to do. And every time you're out of alignment with love, you feel very much like angry, like just discomfort. But you guys are very beautiful inside and out, is what the fairies want you to know. So from my tarot cards, what fell out was ocean waves for the first card. And I feel like you guys are very connected to water. So Spirit is saying that water is going to be a very healing element for you as well. So whenever you guys are feeling any type of emotion, channel that like energy. Like, so I feel like sitting in water helps you cleanse, it helps you purge. So Spirit's saying that get around water, put on ocean waves when you feel like you need to release, you need to cry. Set your affirmations in your water. You guys are very powerful. Like, water is an element that you're very powerful with, and I feel like the fairies want you to know that you can use it to your benefit. So saying affirmations in your water, putting intentions in your spiritual bath, using water to wash away what's no longer serving you. Like, being intentional with water is very much one of your superpowers as well. So ask Spirit to send you a song to describe your current feelings was another one that came out. And I feel like your guides communicate to you through music. So whenever you listen to a song on repeat over and over and over again, that's your guides giving you a message. So don't just like listen to it, but really listen to it. You know, like really see why do you feel so connected to this song right now? What is it speaking to you? How is it speaking to you? You know? And lastly, we have sit with your own energy 1 hour after waking up, no screens. So I feel like Spirit's saying that for you, because you're very highly sensitive, it's very important that you don't just get up and start like watching videos right away, because it's like you get overwhelmed, and whatever you watch, because you're so like empathetic, you pick up on emotions very easily. So if you see a sad video first thing as soon as you open your eyes in the morning, that's going to set the tone for your entire day. So it's very important that you take control of your own energy. I'm also hearing to like really cut energetic cords when you're going to bed as well, because you guys are very sensitive to energy, and a lot of the times you may be wearing other people's emotions and you don't even know. So that's coming up as well. So let's put these back in the deck and get into the tarot. Alrighty, so at the bottom of the deck we have Page of Cups. So I feel like your inner child needs you to express your emotions. They need you to be as authentic as possible. This is my pile where you're coming out of an era of people pleasing, and the fairy realm wants you to know you're going to be more happy when you allow yourself to shine, when you allow yourself to be who you really are. A lot of you guys fear rejection, but Spirit is saying like, when you turn that light on, when you allow yourself to be who you are, a lot of people will gravitate towards you because your energy is very magnetic. But however, they're not going to know how to find you if you're not being truly true to yourself, right? And if you're wondering how to live a happy life, it's through your authenticity. For this collective, it's through your authenticity and speaking your mind, saying your feelings. It doesn't matter if other people think that your emotions are too much. That's too bad. That's on them. Okay. Every single emotion that you feel is valid. You feel emotions very deeply. You are a highly sensitive person. That does not mean that it is a weakness. It does not mean that you don't deserve love. But allow yourself to shine. Because I'm seeing the flame like moving back and forth. I just feel like allow yourself to shine. All right, Spirit, what are your messages for pile number 1? Oh, okay. Pile number 1. What messages from the fairy realm for pile number 1? Pile number 1, Spirit, from the fairy realm. Okay, so this collective, because you're so highly sensitive to energy, I feel like your messages are coming through very clearly. Some of you guys may experience a lot of anxiety, like you just, any shift in emotions, anybody around you feeling off, you feel off. That's your whole day right there. And Spirit's saying that you need to get a control over your own energy and really just sitting with your own energy to know what it feels like, so you can know when you're tapped into someone else's energy. So whenever you're feeling off, connect to your heart and ask yourself, is this my energy? Am I feeling off because maybe I said no to something and someone else reacted poorly to it? Is that my energy, or is it their energy? Also really listening to songs that will calm your nervous system, because this is my collective where you're coming out of fight or flight. You know, you were never treated well growing up. I'm just getting like you were exposed to a lot of harsh things, and it's like the inner child in you had to die very young, so you never got to be a kid. You never got to really express yourself, to just sit in that joy, because maybe something happened to you that really broke your spirit at a very young age. And I think for you to be like happy, you need to protect your energy. You need to make sure that your energy is like, it's your responsibility for self-caring your energy. So self-care is very important for this collective, because you tap into other people's energy very easily. So spiritual baths weekly is going to be very good for you. That's something that your fairies are like really recommending to protect your energy, because you pick up on everybody's energy around you, and if people are not in a good vibrational state, that's how you feel. So it's very important that you have your guards up, and you practice energetic boundaries, good energetic boundaries. Okay, you can feel someone's, like, you can sit down, be compassionate with someone, but not take on their emotions. This is what Spirit is saying as well. But some type of wish fulfillment is coming in for you guys, and I feel like this has to do with either like soul family, a soulmate, but the love that you always wanted. And I feel like this comes when you realize how valuable you are, and to not sacrifice yourself for other people, because this is my collective where you give so much of yourself. You are so empathetic that you would, I'm just getting wounded healer archetype, that you would sacrifice yourself for other people. And I feel like Spirit didn't want you to be in that vibration. They wanted you to heal that vibration so that they can make room for other people to come into your life. Because then when you have good energetic boundaries, you're not going to be like putting yourself on the back burner to help another person, because you come first. This is your reality. Other people are in your reality because you allow them to be in your reality. So Spirit wanted you to have really good boundaries with yourself and with other people, and to know that Spirit doesn't want you to sacrifice yourself for other people. That's something that you were taught at a very young age. And this change is coming in really fast. I feel like you guys are pulling it in, either through your meditations, through your shadow work, or letting go of people who no longer serve you. And you're stepping into a very abundant era. Yeah. And it's going to be through your creativity. So Spirit is saying that really channel everything that you've been through in your creative craft. That's what's going to be the most like helpful for you guys. Alrighty, let's see. I feel like listening to throat chakra frequencies could be very helpful for this collective as well. Let's get some light activation codes for you. At the bottom we have angelic frequency. Angels are here. You are safe. Potent connection. So you guys are very connected to your angels. You're very connected to Spirit. I feel like you feel the most connected to Spirit when you're in water. And I feel like you have to make like an active choice to connect to your angels daily, because they're really like, you're very guided. So this is my earth angel pile. Like, you guys are very connected to the spirit realm. It's very easy for you to channel too. So some of you guys could be channelers. Let's see. Any other messages, Spirit? Ooh, let's cleanse. Any other messages for group number 1? Any other messages for group number 1? This one wants to come out. Order of Melchizedek. I can't say this. Embraced by light, mission uncovered. Don't give up. So maybe some of you guys may be feeling like nothing's changing in your reality. Maybe you feel like you're not seeing anything happening, but a lot of you guys disconnect from your guides when you feel anxious. So Spirit saying calm your energy and really listen to what comes through. When you make a conscious choice to sit in silence, to sit with your own energy, you'll get more clarity. So that's coming up. But you guys know what your mission is to do on this planet. It's just whatever your creative craft is, you may feel like it's not good enough because you have all these insecurities. Maybe people made you feel small growing up, so you start to see your craft through that lens. So how we view our creative crafts is not how other people are going to perceive it. So we have to surrender how it's being perceived and just create. Because everybody has their own people, their own crowd. So you will have your own people as well, people who will love your craft. I think about the painting that banana that sold for like millions of dollars. It had someone to buy it. So it doesn't matter what you create. It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is to the next person. Price it for how much you want to price it, and other people will see the value in it. You know what I mean? Don't lower your value because other people are like, oh, you know, what why would you pay all that money for that? Okay, it's just not for them. Other people will see the value in it and be like, okay, I like this. I'm gonna pay for it. So we have I am presence, light body activation, accessing the divine within. So I feel like you guys, you're coming out of a very much a time where you had to really fight for your fight for yourself, you know. Maybe other people tried to make you feel like you weren't good enough, like, you know, you weren't worthy, but you had to realize that you had to love yourself more and to also affirm new things. So whatever beliefs you believed when you were a kid, you had to let go of those beliefs and now affirm new things. But you're coming into the I am presence. So you guys are in creator mode. Spirit is saying that you are in creator mode. Whatever you want, you can have. So get clear on your plan. And I feel like to say, take it one step at a time, because this is my creative pile. Maybe you're an overachiever. Maybe you set the bar so high, and then when you don't hit it, you feel so discouraged. So Spirit is saying one step at a time. What habit can you implement that is in alignment with where you want to go? So really sit and ask yourself, what does my higher self life look like? How do they feel? What do they do? How do they think? Create a plan and take it one step at a time. Just because you create the whole plan don't mean you need to do everything all at once. Take it one step at a time. So that's coming through. At the end, we have Emerald Tablet activation, cosmic ordering, divine alchemy, conscious manifesting. So you guys are in creator mode. I'm not gonna there's no doubt in my mind that you're in creator mode right now. Okay. I just feel like you have to believe in yourself. It's really about you believing in yourself to make your dreams happen. Seriously, like, we're getting real serious for a second. Like, you guys are already elevating in frequency. So this is my collective where you've done a lot of shadow work. You're in alignment, because when I looked up before I saw 222, you're in alignment. The timeline that you're on right now, it's ready for you to create it. So instead of looking to the future, be in the present moment. So I feel like you can't be in the present moment if you're always anxious. So this is what the fairies want you to know, is to calm your anxiety. That's the first step, so that you can start to hear your thoughts clearly, instead of the limited beliefs that always make you feel like you can't do something. So that's coming up. Some of you guys might be working with the goddess Kali Ma as well. Let's see. Any messages from the Green Witch's Oracle? Mint. Abundance, persistence, and proliferation. Proliferation? I don't know what that word means, honestly. Some of you guys could be drinking mint tea. That's coming up. Or you could be working with herb mints. The thing is with this collective, a message that just came through, because you're so powerful, Spirit saying don't be afraid to use your natural herbs to enhance whatever it is that you need. So putting mint in your water and setting the the affirmation that you will align with abundance, because you're in creator mode right now. Whatever you say goes. So be a conscious creator in your reality, but you need to calm your mind first. So, because I keep looking at the Nine of Swords, and I just feel like there's a lot going on up here, and it's all limited beliefs. You don't believe in yourself, but it's everybody else sees the light in you. Everybody else sees how wonderful you are, and I feel like you guys have encountered a lot of people who try to dim your light because you couldn't see your own light. They took advantage of you because you couldn't see your own light, and they're just like, hey, this person's gonna let me take it for as long as possible, so I might as well. You know, that's the type of energies that you guys were attracting. But it's because you needed to heal a part of yourself that didn't feel worthy, that needed to sacrifice themselves for everybody else, you know. Let's see. But you're in creator mode now. I feel like you're out of those lessons now, and it's time for you to just really take yourself seriously. Honestly, you can't wait for somebody else to come and tell you, this is the value that I see in you. Now you can get started. You're looking for certainty, and there's no certainty in the world. You just have to bet on yourself. You're worthy of being betted on. Because even as I'm saying that, I just get the energy that you guys are very talented. You're very talented. So it's like, you just can't see it in yourself because of all the times people try to break your spirit when you were younger. You know what I mean? B, community, cooperation, sweetness. So you guys are connecting to your soul family, and I feel like this is because you had to go through a time where you had to know your worth, right? You had to heal a wound within you that didn't feel worthy enough. But these people are coming in to also help you with your craft, to also be like a motivating like energy in your life. So divine helpers are coming through as well. Peacocks could be significant for this collective. I just feel like you're very beautiful. You're very handsome. You're very good looking, Energy, leadership, you're creative. See? Creative energy, carnelian. So this crystal can also help you connect with your higher self. It is connected to your sacral chakra as well. Your creative energy. So getting the crystal carnelian, working with that energy can help you step into your leadership position, because this collective, you're very much meant to be leaders in this life some way, somehow. Okay, you're my trailblazers pile. Oak tree, power, courage, and strength. So I feel like Spirit saying, don't be afraid to plant good seeds in your life, okay? You're worthy of this new life that you are trying to manifest, but you're already on the timeline. So Spirit saying it's time for you to take action. But you have to quiet your mind first to be able to hear the downloads that come through from your higher self, because your higher self is always guiding you. Always guiding you. Even when you thought you made mistakes or you chose the wrong people to be in your life, it was for you to learn a lesson. Because your soul came here to learn many, many lessons so that you can step into the leadership position and teach other people how to let go of certain karmic patterns. Okay? Let's see. Alright, Spirit. Any messages for group number 1 from the fairy realm? Any messages from group number 1 from the fairy realm? Any messages from group number 1 from the fairy realm? Okay. I think this one wants to come out too, so. Alright. At the bottom we have, look past what you feel are your incompatibilities. Instead, focus on everything you have achieved so far. It is okay to acknowledge your weaknesses, but keep in mind that they don't define you. Your strength and your beautiful soul are clear for all to see. So Spirit is saying that you tend to hyper-focus on what isn't good about you instead of focusing on the strengths that you have, because you're very strong. The amount of lotuses in this this image, I know you had to rise, okay? You had to go, you got it out the mud. I love that saying. But you tend to focus on the things that you don't do good, or maybe like your shortcomings. And Spirit saying focus on the things that you've achieved. So this is my collective where you need to also celebrate your wins. Every single win needs to be celebrated by you. Even if you gain 10 new subscribers, celebrate you. Bake yourself a cupcake, okay? I don't know. Write in your journal, write a love note to yourself saying congratulations for all that you've done, all that you've accomplished, and stick it somewhere you can see. Okay, you guys are very much master manifestors, and it's like you manifest through your emotions, your heart chakra. So whenever you are in alignment with your heart chakra, things flow for you effortlessly. Okay, but you also have to clear your mind, because your mind and your when your mind is on board with your heart, things flow easily with you. You won't be at war with yourself. So I know it's 0.1 hertz for mind and heart coherence. You guys can listen to that frequency as well. I will drop the frequency playlist that I made down below for the collective, so you can check that out as well, whatever you feel drawn to in there. So those are the messages from that. Let's see what else popped out. Be true to yourself in all ways. Not everyone will get you. They can only understand from their level of perception. That's on them. No matter what people say, don't ever doubt your worth or the beauty you hold within. Stand tall in your power. I feel like you guys have to learn to stop taking things so personally, because you feel on such a deep level. You struggled with that in the past, and that was what was draining your energy, because the way people treated you, you saw it as a reflection of your self-worth. So Spirit really needed you to heal that before you can step into your power, before you can lead from your soul, because there will be people who will see the light in you and try to dim it in any way that they can. Okay, so you guys had to really go through a lot of, and you had to deal with a lot of energy vampires, truly. But now that you learned the lesson, they can't feed off of you anymore. Okay, you learn to walk away. It's better to walk away than to be combative. Okay, let's see. You need to ignore what everyone else is doing and achieving. Your life is about breaking your own limits and outgrowing yourself to live your best life. You are not in competition with anyone else. Plan to outdo your past, not other people. So you are a better person than you were yesterday. You're a better person than you were last week, last year. Really honor that, okay? Like, everybody's journey is so different, and we always see people when they've blown up, when they've passed like the invisible mark, right? Where they're working underground, before the lotus comes up from the water, we see them then, but we don't see them when they're underground doing all the work, So honor every stage in your life. It's all important. Let's see. Focus your mindset on what you can control instead of what you can't. The world is your oyster. Elevate your thought patterns so that you can attract abundance into your life. You are what you believe. So I feel like with a little conscious effort on your part, you can manifest anything you desire right now. But it comes with you quieting your mind. If you're anxious, that's what you're going to manifest. More things to be anxious about. So that's why Spirit's saying that it's important that you work on the internal feelings, and then you start to like push your work out there, okay? But you need to be calm. So you guys are coming out of fight or flight mode, okay? All my life I had to fight. Nervous system resets. Yeah, frequencies for that. It's gonna be in the playlist that I dropped down below. It's really good, guys. Sleeping with it, you'll start to wake up more like calm, okay, over time. But when you're coming out of like a time where people were siphoning off your energy, your body's in shock. And if this was happening your entire life, your body been in shock, okay? It's when we get presented with issues and we start to panic and we're like, oh my god, that's your body not being in like a calm state, okay? So I feel like Spirit's saying to listen to frequencies that will help your mind at this time, and then start to manifest from that foundation. So let's get some messages from the cards that I made. All right, Spirit, any messages for group number 1 from the fairy realm? Any messages for group number 1 from the fairy realm? Any messages for group number 1? So you're getting paid for being you. I love that for you. I really do. I feel like the more that you love on yourself and you allow your craft to be shown out there, allow yourself to be seen. A lot of fairy energy, we don't like to be seen. And I get that because I relate. I love fairy energy. But when you can't get paid for being you if you're not allowing other people to see you, So that's coming up. Stop putting work over taking care of you. So Spirit's calling you to have balance, okay? I feel like you need to be in a good calm state when you're creating your crafts, okay? You should not be like feeling like you have to do it because like if you feel like you have to do something, you don't create the best work, right? So allowing yourself to just create when you feel that inspiration. I feel like that's coming up for some people. Let's see. All is well and this too shall pass. Okay, calming your nerves. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Your vulnerability is your superpower. A lot of times we don't feel connected to people because we're not allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. If you want deeper connections, you got to be vulnerable. You are now in creator mode. New frequency unlocked, new beginnings. I love a confirmation, okay? Practice showing up on time. So a lot of the times when we feel like we're experiencing delays, if you're always late, that is why. The energy you put out there is what you receive back. So if you're not taking your craft seriously, the universe is not gonna take your craft seriously. It's just like that. Okay? So if you're showing up late, you're gonna experience delays. Practice showing up on time. That's coming through for this collective. What do I want to end off with? Let's pull from the spiritual gifts pile because this is my highly gifted collective. Let's see. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. Any messages from the fairy realm for group number 1? Precognition. You're being called to explore the prediction of future events, no matter if it's a few seconds or years into the future. So some of you guys may really be able to see what your future looks like. And Spirit's saying that what you're seeing is your higher self guiding you, showing you that it is possible, that you did it already. So to get rid of that self-doubt and create anyway. Even if you have doubt, even if you have fear, create anyway. No matter how much healing you do, the journey only ends when you're dead. You might as well enjoy life now too. Okay, so Spirit is saying that you're gonna always have something to heal. Okay, if you wait till you're fully healed to create your craft, then you're gonna be waiting forever. Okay, this is a journey, not a one pit stop. Any messages from the okay? Any other messages? Any other messages for group number 1? 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 Anything else? Okay. Anything else? Okay. Alright. At the bottom we have coaching. You're being called to explore transformational mentorship to bring clarity, insight, and healing for growth and transformation. Oh, I love that for you guys. So if you're thinking about creating your website to start doing coaching, spiritual coaching, do it. Okay, you've learned a lot in life, and you can teach people based off of what you've been through. And not only that, you have the empathy to really empathize with other people, so they know that you've been through it and they can trust you. I feel like you have a trusting energy, and it's like you can allow people to see the emotional feelings behind it, and also to take practical steps to help them heal because you've been through it already. So that's coming through. Clear empathy. Hello. Okay, yeah, okay. I love that confirmation. You're being called to tune into your emotions, thoughts, and physical energy. You're being called to tune into the emotions, thoughts, and physical energy of others so you can help others heal and clear unwanted energy. Confirmation. There's nothing else to say about that. Candle maker. You're being called to explore crafting sacred candles for rituals and spiritual healing for the soul. You guys are very witchy. I get that energy from you guys. Tassography. Listen, every time this card comes up, I keep forgetting to look up how to pronounce it. You're being called to explore reading the tea leaves of coffee grounds, looking at symbolic patterns within the teacup to uncover messages. So what I'm getting is some of you guys could have been recently watching like a coffee ground reading as well that's coming up. So those are my messages for pile number 1 from the fairy realm. Thank you for tuning into this week's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 2. Your energy feels so magical. I just feel like you've created so much in your life so far, and Spirit wants you to take a moment to really acknowledge how far that you've come. You are a master manifester, and look how far you've come. The fairies, they're very much proud of you. Like, you guys, if I'm looking over here, I'm channeling from the screen. However, there's just so much light in you, you know. You're multi-talented. You're not just one thing, okay? And right now, you're creating your reality from scratch. You know, you're building it brick by brick. And Spirit is saying that a manifestation that you've planted, a seed that you've planted a while back, is coming in. And it's a big manifestation, okay? Spirit wants you to hold on to hope, because maybe right now you're not seeing anything happening in your reality. However, it's like you're coming out of a time of deep healing. So rest is really what you need right now to be able to sustain this new frequency that you are on. So your messages from the fairy realm is to really just rest and allow for your energy to even out, because some of you guys might be overheating. Maybe your body's super hot right now because you're elevating in frequency. I'm also hearing that maybe you've recently broken glass as well. That's an indication that you are shifting. But overall, it's like you guys are stepping into your power. You know, you guys have been through so much, and you're no longer allowing people to bully you. I feel like people used to try to make you feel small in the past because you were kind. So they took your kindness for weakness, and it's like where you are now, can't nobody fuck with you. Okay, can't nobody fuck with you on this frequency that you're at, that you're elevating in. Can't nobody fuck with you because you know your worth. You're standing in your power. You are that bitch, okay? And you're realizing that. And that's exactly why you are ready for this manifestation that you've been manifesting. Because maybe what you're manifesting is something that has to do with you being around a lot of people. And Spirit needed to know that you were going to stand up for yourself, one, and protect your energy. But yeah, you guys dealt with a lot of insecure people in the past that tried to dim your light. And, you know, you're being heavily protected before. So some of you guys may have been working extremely hard to see this victory, to claim victory in your reality, but it's like maybe you're being so protected that Spirit didn't allow things to happen for you, so you're experiencing a lot of delays is what I'm hearing. But what Spirit is saying now is your manifestation is coming in. It's coming in, and it's gonna be wonderful. You know, that's what I'm hearing. It's gonna be wonderful. Any other messages for group number 2, Spirit? Any other messages for group number 2 from the fairy realm? What do the fairies want to say to group number 2? Some of you guys could be painters. Any other messages for group number 2? Let's see what's at the bottom. So this is coming in fast. I feel like right now you may be experiencing like confusion, but Spirit's saying that it's because you're elevating in frequency right now. The less you know is better. So just because it looks like nothing's happening in reality doesn't mean that nothing's happening. So a lot of your guides work in the background, okay? So you guys are gonna be the type of people who like you put in all that work, because I'm getting that you're putting a lot of work towards your creative craft, but you didn't see anything like coming up. However, you're gonna just fly forward. It's gonna just be like one big manifestation just falls into your lap. Okay, so maybe you've been posting maybe 400 videos on YouTube and you didn't see any growth, and then this one last video, it's like maybe you get 10,000 subscribers. So it's gonna be something like that, is what Spirit is saying as well. Let's get some more tarot cards, because I feel like some of you guys could be like tattoo artists, is what I'm getting as well. But you're being called to balance your energy right now, because try not to do too much. So this is my collective, where you struggle with like rest, you know. So when Spirit tells you to rest, maybe you're trying to do a lot, you know. This is my collective, that you're always trying to do something. Okay, rest might be the hardest thing for you to do, because you feel like you're not contributing to your success, you know. But you guys have to rest, because what you've been through recently was very painful, you know. You went through a recent heartbreak where somebody treated your emotions or your feelings like it was nothing, and you know, you had to answer your life purpose. So I feel like you had to walk away from someone who wasn't allowing you to grow, and choose yourself. And I love that for you. You know, you had to let go of this inner critic and turn it into something that was going to motivate you, because you guys you're very much doers of the world. Okay, you're very productive, but Spirit needed you to learn balance. Okay, so this is my collective, where no matter how much you tried to manifest something, it wasn't showing up, because Spirit needed you to balance your energy. Okay, but whatever it is that you were manifesting, it's pulling closer to you. You're going to be able to start to see more signs. Like after you watch this video, you're going to be able to see a lot more signs. So if this is finding you, just know that it's very close. It's very close to you. It's closer than you think. Some of you guys could be worrying about finances, but experiencing that your world is about to shift so fast that don't worry about it. Like try a way to calm your nerves. Don't think about doing more. Be in the energy of receiving. So that's what your frequency is on right now. You're in the energy of receiving. So your feminine energy needed healing. So Spirit wants you to look at everything you've been through during this time of rest from a different perspective than what you've been looking at it through. So if you've been looking at it a certain way, try to sit with the energy of it and just ask yourself, what other information can I gain from this experience? Because I feel like whatever lesson you came out of, it was a big lesson that taught you multiple things. It's not just one and done. First of all those fell out, so let's just take the one on top. Some of you guys could be fire signs. I'm getting Leo, Sag, Aries. But you had to go through major lessons about like protecting your creative craft, one, not just sharing it with everyone, because a lot of people, like, I feel like you have to practice being humble, because like a lot of people would see you expressing your creative like ideas as you bragging, and they would see that as a form, like as a way to attack you. So I feel like it's not that Spirit wants you to be humble for the sake of being humble. It's for you to be protected, because a lot of people would see you and be like, they're reminded of all the things they're not doing in their life, because you guys achieved so much, and it's like maybe you downplay yourself, but other people see like just how much you've achieved in your life, how much you've changed, and it reminds them that they're not changing. That's coming up. Any other messages for group number 2 from the fairy realm, Spirit? Any other messages? I feel like Spirit wants you to make time to celebrate you. Stop waiting for other people to celebrate you. I feel like you guys are the collective where you think that, you know, like you're worthy of celebrating when you made a big accomplishment. Maybe then people will acknowledge you, but it's like Spirit wants you to acknowledge yourself before everybody else does, because people only acknowledge you when they see like the big success. But everything that you've done is a success, right? It is worthy of being celebrated, because you did that. You put the energy behind it. You did that. So, you know, just because other people aren't celebrating you doesn't mean that you need to join them, you know. Let's see, any other messages from the fairy realm for group number 2? Blood clot. Some of you guys could be Jamaican. The number 222 could be significant as well. Okay, let's see. I feel like Spirit is saying to get focused. Okay, when you are, so right now you guys may be experiencing like a period of wait, where you're gonna be like thinking about what are you gonna do with this new energy that you're stepping into, right? What's next for you? Really just sitting there in that planning energy. But creating the plan while you're like resting, but not doing too much, right? And then because you create that plan, you're going to be able to pull in that manifestation really quickly, because you guys are my doers pile. Like, there isn't anything, when you set your mind to something, you get it done. That's coming through, right? You have a sharp focus. Some of you guys could be air signs as well, you know? When you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. And that's what some people might hate about you, because it's like, you know, a lot of people say, I'm going to get this done, I'm going to do this. But when you say it, you mean it. You mean it. Because you realize that only you can change your life. Only you, like, you have the power to make the difference in your life, right? No one's coming to save you. I feel like you guys have to learn that from a very young age as well. But you guys are manifesting also, like, either a soulmate connection that has recently just entered your life that you manifested for some of you guys, I'm getting, or that's what's coming for you is what Spirit is showing me. But I feel like Spirit also wants you to not only balance work, but to also invite more play into your life, you know? You guys might be very serious people. Like, you might just be like, you know what? Like, this is what I want out of my life, but you don't allow yourself to have fun. And I feel like the more you allow yourself to have fun is more that things flow to you easily, effortlessly, because you guys, you work hard. Your masculine energy is through the charts, okay, through the roof. But you have to learn to really tap into that feminine energy of receiving. And I feel like allow yourself to play more. You know what I mean? Life doesn't have to be so seriously. So Spirit wants you to approach life with a light heart, okay, with a more playful energy is what's coming up. But this is my pile where you're deep. Like, you guys do a lot of shadow work. You're not afraid to sit with yourself. You're not afraid to really just, like, unpack what's blocking you. Like, you might be very stubborn with yourself. Like, if you can't figure out what's blocking you, you might just sit there and be like, you know what, I'm not going to move from this spot until I know so that I can change it, because you're tired of the fuckery in your life. You're tired of, like, the bullshit. You're tired of being stagnant. That's coming up very heavy. Yeah, you guys are manifesting love. Romantic love. Like, I feel like this person's either in your life right now or they're coming very soon, and it's going to be very much, they're going to soften you up. They're going to soften you up. I love that. I love that for you. They're going to allow you to receive. Maybe you guys are coming out of relationships where you always had to wear the pants in a relationship, but this person's coming in to balance that energy out for you. That's what I'm hearing. What other messages do I want to pull for this collective? Let's get some messages from the Green Witch's Oracle. Alright, Spirit, what are your messages for group number 2? Empowerment. So you guys are in a state of empowerment right now, is what Spirit is saying, okay? You're highly magical. I feel like some of you guys might have been manifesting using the moon. Maybe you put that energy into your jewelry that's coming up. You know, you guys are not afraid to, like, use your natural abilities to manifest is what's coming up as well. Anything else for group number 2, Spirit? Blood quartz. Anything else? Okay. At the bottom we have carnelian. So some of you guys could have picked another pile. Let's see. So we have altar as well. Gratitude, releasing burden. So Spirit is saying to create an altar with all your guides and allow them to also help you. Because you guys are, I'm just hearing like your guides are laughing because they're like, they know you. It's like, they're just like, you know what? Like, you will manifest something and then you just go out and do it instead of allowing Spirit to co-create with you. You know, and it doesn't have to be so hard. It's Spirit saying that ask for their help. You know, you have free will, so they can only step in when you ask. But a lot of things can feel a lot easier for you if you just pray for help, pray for guidance, you know? So making this a daily thing. Maybe you show up to your altar and you ask for help, you ask for protection, whatever it is that you need, because you have that spiritual connection. And also you're also being called to even tap into the energy of the carnelian for leadership and creativity. So it's coming up. You don't have to actually buy this crystal. You can like download a picture, put it up in your space, and you know, whatever energies you want from that crystal, just write it down underneath, whatever, and just have that energy around you, because you guys are leaders as well, is what I'm hearing. You're entrepreneurs. I'm hearing like entrepreneurs as well. Let's get some messages from your future higher self, actually. All right, Spirit, any messages from your future higher? What I'm hearing also is Spirit is saying that your crown chakra is being activated right now. So you might be getting a lot more downloads than usual. So listen to that, because everything that you're experiencing right now is not random, is what I'm hearing. You guys are very connected to the stars, so you may resonate with being a star seed, is what I'm hearing. Any other messages for group number 2? Any other messages? Oh, for group number 2. Any other messages for group number 2? Okay, I'm gonna take that one too. Oh yeah, I love that. Hold on. So your heart always knows the way. Oh, sorry, your heart always knows the way. Simply trust it. So trusting your heart instead of allowing your mind to rule you is coming out. To rise, you must let go of fear. So you guys know this. I feel like you guys know this, and this is why you tackle your shadow work head on. Because you're not going to allow your fears to keep you stuck, is what I'm hearing. You are magical. You are a magical being with the whole universe waiting to assist you. What did I say? You guys are extremely magical. Like, your energy is just so strong. It's very potent. But allow your guides to help you. Okay? Things don't have to be as hard as you make them. That's coming up. Challenge yourself to be stronger than your challenges. I don't know. I feel like you guys are a very strong pile. So it's like, any challenge that you may face, maybe in the moment you may feel like, oh my god, I'm dying, but you always rise up. I just feel like you're very dramatic. So that might just be it. Maybe you know, like something happens, you're like, oh, you wallow in it, but then you pick yourself up and you're like, you know what, let's get to it. You know, let's get on it. So you're very strong. I feel like you're stronger than you see yourself, you know. Let's see. Your dreams are never farther than you can reach. And I feel like this has to do with some of you guys manifesting a soulmate. You know, believe that it's here, you know. When it gets dark, remember that the sun always rises. Ooh, I love that. You pull the strings that control your own life. Like I said, master manifestors. You have come back to the start to see what you've missed before. So really sitting with what other lessons that you can take away from this experience. Like, I just feel like there's something else that you miss. So ask your guides for help. Ask your guides to reveal that. Life isn't a sprint. It's a long race, and you're not just in it to win. I love that. So really enjoying your journey, allowing yourself to play too, you know. You guys are very much master manifestors, but you know, like, do you want to spend your entire life just manifesting, or do you want to live? Do you want to live? Okay, allow yourself to live. Let's get to my cards as well. Any messages for pile number 2, Spirit? Psychic Shields is standing out to me, so let me pull this up. So, psychic shields. You're protecting yourself from getting hurt again is actually blocking you from experiencing love fully. To experience the love you want, you have to let others in. So if you're trying to manifest a soulmate, but you have all these guards up, you have to allow other people to be there for you. So I'm getting hyper independence for this pile. Maybe, you know, you're not able to ask people to hold a bag for you or open a door for you, or can you help me with this, is something that you find hard to do. You do everything yourself, and you work yourself to the point of exhaustion. And Spirit's saying that allow your soft energy to enter. Allow that life to really take over. Because some of you guys might be manifesting a soft life, but you're hyper independent, and you don't allow other people to be there for you, you know? Because maybe you feel like, I would have done this differently. Listen, one thing I had to learn about that, even though you would have done it differently, someone else was able to help you with it. So you were able to put your attention somewhere else, okay? People are not going to do it exactly how you want to do it, because everybody is different. So surrender how it's being done. Surrender control, you know. So that comes up when you have like a lot of control issues. So this is come from someone who experiences that, you know. So I have to be very aware of when I'm doing it, because like I think about the example where, like, you know, my boyfriend was making me eggs, and I was like, oh, you know, can you put this in it, can you do that? And at that point, you could just do it yourself. You could just do it yourself, you know. There'll be many other days where you do make eggs for yourself, but this one day, can you surrender how it needs to be done? So that's coming in. Any other messages for group number 2, Spirit? Neptune. Your psychic energy is increasing. So is your creativity. I feel like as your third eye opens, so does your creativity. Like it goes up. Surrender. The less you know, the better. That's coming up. Okay. Stop dimming your light to make others feel comfortable. Okay. Life already has its challenges. Your partner should not be yet another problem that stresses you out. So maybe that's why you guys are running from love. Maybe you're used to people stressing you out. But, you know, allow yourself to be in receiving mode to receive the love you're trying to manifest. You know, because we can ask Spirit for love, and then we are really not ready for it. Are you ready to receive this love? Ask yourself, in what ways am I blocking this? You know, way sure. Some of you guys may be feeling imposter syndrome as well, but Spirit's saying that you are that bit, okay? Excuse me, confirmation burp. This is an opportunity to show up differently. Take your power back by not giving them the reaction they want from you. They are irrelevant. They came to teach you a lesson to benefit your growth and help you level up spiritually. Thank you and goodbye. Okay, so somebody may have recently left your life recently. This may have been a Scorpio is what I'm getting. They could have had Scorpio placements, but somebody left your life recently, but they came to teach you a major lesson that has allowed you to level up in this current frequency that you are in now. So, expect good things for yourself, because you guys have been manifesting like a motherfucker. Okay, so Spirit is saying expect good things, okay? I don't know, I feel like you guys are way showers, like you're trailblazers, so you show the way to other people. So you make the path clearer because you've been through it. You can be like, okay, this is what I did to manifest this, that, and the third. Yeah. So, what other messages do I want to get for you guys? Let's get some spirit messages. So, actually, let's get some mindful messages for this collective, okay? Because you guys be like, I don't know, worried about the future. So I feel like you guys are very much future set, but you're not living in the present moment. So let's get some mindful messages. So at the bottom we have releasing anger. Anger is a natural emotion, but I recognize that holding on to it can be toxic for me. I look at the person who has caused me pain and see them as the human being that they are. I release the anger I feel and free myself. Freeing myself and expanding to love. So maybe this is the psychic shields that you guys are holding on to. Maybe you are holding on to grudges from the past, and Spirit saying that it's time for you to release those so that you can allow love to enter into your life. So if you are like wondering, okay, why am I not manifesting my soulmate? It could be because you're still holding on to the anger that your last partner has caused you, whether this be romantically or platonically. Only you know. Yeah. So let's get some messages for you. That scared the bejesus out of me and my cat. To be honest with you, I was like, what is that sound? Any messages for group number 2? Any other messages for group number 2? Okay. So projecting. Rather than reacting and projecting my emotions onto others, I remember no one is to blame. No one is responsible for the emotions that I feel. When someone says or does something that brings up strong emotions within me, I have the choice to how I respond. Oh, I love that. Alright, let's see what popped out. So, casting spells. The words I speak and the stories I tell are like spells. What I say and believe I attract more of. So I shift my story from lack to abundance, from victim to empowered, and from complaint to gratitude. Now when I speak to others through my words, I am casting beautiful spells. I feel like you guys have studied the laws of the universe intensely. And I feel like you just do what you have to do. So even if you don't like naturally feel like, okay, I'm grateful right now, you're just like, you know what, I know gratitude aligns me with the energy of abundance, right? It gets me out of that lack mentality, that heavy and mentality, from like focusing on what I don't have, right, to focusing on what I do have. You just do it because you know like that's how the universe works. So I'm just tap into it, and I feel like whatever you're doing, it's working. So keep doing that, okay? Speaking good things to yourself as well. So those are my messages for group number 2. Thank you for tuning into this week's reading, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, group number 3. I feel like I've been sitting with your energy for a little while, and you need a hug. I feel like you guys are going through a lot. You might still be in dark night of the soul right now. Things may feel very foggy for you, but I think you are in a period of surrender. Whatever you are purging from yourself right now needs to be purged for you to enter the next level of your life. And the fairies want you to know that they are with you. Your angels want you to know that they are with you, to call on them whenever you need support. But I feel like this collective, you suffer in silence. You may feel like, oh, no one's ever there for me, but do you ask? A lot of people live in their own worlds, so we can feel like, they saw me, and they didn't say anything. But a lot of times people be in their own head. Like, you'll see them, but they're not really here. A lot of people live in their minds. They don't live in the present moment. So they're not really paying attention to us in the ways that we want them to. So we have to be able to call on that support, ask for support. And if you feel like, you may feel like it's hard for you to ask for support, you can ask your guides for support and be open to how that shows up. So that might be someone in your life taking you out for dinner, and you take your mind off of what you're doing right now, because shadow work is a deep thing, okay? It's a very hard thing, so you don't have to sit in that dark energy all the time. And this reminds me of a time where I was going through, like, dealing with this energy vampire, and I couldn't figure out why I just kept feeling so terrible. I had to take breaks from my deep healing. I had to create playlists where, like, I would listen to it. So I allowed myself to, be sad one day, and then the next day I'm like, okay, let's take a bath. Let's take care of myself as if I was a child. Talking to myself as if I was a child, because the more we sit in that energy consecutively, it's harder for us to pull ourselves out of it. And when you're doing deep shadow work, it can be very intense. It feels like you're reliving the same pain that you did as a child. But this collective, the fairies want you to know that your victory is near. Right now you may be feeling defeated, but you are going to see in what ways that you pull through, that you are stronger than you think you are. You know, whoever is making you feel this way, it's like right now you're being taught that you are not powerless, to reclaim your power. So realizing what power do you have in this situation. Can't nobody make you feel a certain way. You know what I mean? Unless you allow them to. And the reason why we allow people to make us feel a certain way is because maybe that reaffirms a belief or a wound that we have. And, you know, we accept that because we're just like, you know what, as a kid, I felt unworthy and this person is making me feel unworthy. So therefore I am unworthy. And this makes me feel so terrible. But it's like you're used to it. So you're used to that wound. So you keep replaying that wound. You keep meeting the same person over and over and over again because it's an invitation for you to heal that wound, for you to affirm something different. And listen, when we affirm something different, when we walk away from something that's no longer serving us, that don't mean you don't cry. That don't mean it's not painful. Allow yourself to cry without judgment. Without judgment. Because you may feel like, oh, why am I crying again? Babes, if you gotta cry 190 times, cry 190 times. Your feelings are worthy of being heard and without judgment, okay? Because maybe when you were younger, you were always asked, why are you crying? You know, so you grow up and you treat your emotions the same exact way. But you are meant to feel. All this water that's around this fairy, you are meant to feel your emotions. You cannot move on to the next level until you feel your emotions. You may be wanting to like get into that craft or move on to the next level, but you have to purge, you have to cry, you have to feel. This person came into your life to teach you where a wound was, okay? And even at the bottom of this deck, the moon card. So, you know, the moon is very significant for you guys. Maybe when it's like a full moon, you feel that energy very intensely because you're very connected to the moon. Some of you guys could have a Cancer moon as well as coming up, or Cancer placements. You are a sensitive person, okay? You could have picked another pile as well, but whatever is feeling confusing for you right now is because you're being heavily protected. And it may not feel that way, but it's for you to grow. It's for you to learn. It's for you to evolve. And you will come out of this victorious. A lot of times when we're in it, we don't feel that way. But the fairies are letting you know that you will. You will, because, you know, somebody may have came into your life recently that dimmed that inner child in you, that made you feel like, okay, like, you know, I'm not worthy, or I can't be a happy person. It's like you're wearing someone else's energy is also what I'm feeling right now, you know? Because maybe you were like, before you met this person, you were a happy-go-lucky person, or maybe you laughed more, you know, but this person came and they made you feel like you weren't shit. But no one can make us feel like we're not shit unless we let them. You know, whatever emotions or feelings they have towards us, that's their business. That's for them to carry. But when we're highly sensitive and empathic, we can pick up on that energy and carry it for ourselves. Because maybe the way that they feel about us affirms a belief that we believe in ourselves. So that's an invitation. Our triggers are an invitation for us to lean in and see what needs healing. So that's why things are foggy for you right now, because there's something in you that needs healing, that needs your attention, that needs your patience, that needs your care. The only way through the darkness is love. Love will always guide you out of the darkness. But if you keep telling yourself that I'm weak, I'm never going to get up, then that's exactly what's going to happen. Okay? I feel like confirmation burp. What you need right now with yourself is compassion. Is true compassion. Okay, baby? True compassion. Allow yourself to really just feel. I feel like the more you allow yourself to feel and purge, is the more you'll start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's coming through. You're going through dark night of the soul, but guess what? That must end. It must end, babe. But you know, it's when we're ready to, when we've had enough of a situation. Because even when I think about this energy, when I exited dark night of the soul, when I let go of this energy vampire, this deep wound that I had within myself, it was when I had enough of how it made me feel. I hated feeling powerless. I hated feeling like I wasn't anything. Okay? So I had to stand up to myself, those beliefs, and say, you know what? I'm not going to allow anyone to make me feel that way. I cut energetic cords, purged. So some of you guys may be called to purge right now. Purge someone else's energy that you may be wearing. This could be a long-time partner for some of you guys. Maybe you guys were dating this person for years. But to call your power back to you, charge and cleanse from everybody, every situation, every dimension that made you feel powerless. Call your power back to you daily, nightly, okay? Because you are powerful. You're not powerless. You know, we believe that we're powerless because it affirms a belief that our inner child believe. You know, our inner child may have felt unworthy because no one loved them. You know, loved them in the way that they wanted to be loved. You know, and it's our job now to reparent ourselves and to love ourselves the way that we want to be loved. You know, If other people come in and they do that, that's nice, that's great. But at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to love ourselves in the way that we want to be loved. It's no one else's responsibility. And if someone couldn't see your worth, let them go. Spirit's making room for someone else. So those are my messages for just the image. Let's see what the fairy realm has to say to group number 3. So I'm hearing, I am immune to energy vampires. I am always protected. I know I am safe and protected always. So that's an affirmation that you guys can say to yourself as well. Remember, we are in charge of our emotions, you know, and this isn't to say to bypass your feelings, but just to say, if you're coming out of a time, or like maybe the old version of you was addicted to feeling lesser than, addicted to not feeling worthy, it's time for you to create a new pattern for yourself. Okay, this is gonna take work. And when I say this, this has come from someone who would always felt like a victim in their reality, right? So I had to align myself with feel good energy. This meant moving my body daily. I noticed that when I don't move my body is when all those like negative thoughts can rule me, take over my whole soul, my whole environment. So now that I know that I'm in control, I have the power, I make it a practice where I at least move my body for 20 minutes a day. Okay? And I've seen healthy benefits to that. Not only did my body change, but, you know, I feel better, you know, so I move my body for the mental clarity. So I say this to say, ask yourself, what kind of habits do I have right now that's contributing to me sitting in this darkness, you know? So, you know, the fairy realm just wants you to really be conscious with how are you contributing to your suffering at this moment. You know, it's easy to look at other people and be like, you know, they're the reason I'm suffering. But they can only cause suffering in our life if we allow them to, in whatever way. Whether that's us giving our power away to them. So an exercise that you can do as well, if someone left you feeling powerless, visualize them standing in front of you. And they're holding like a ball of light. And it's like, this is your power. So visualize yourself taking that back from them, okay? Putting it into your heart center, putting it into wherever they left you feeling powerless. Maybe if they didn't, you know, allow you to speak, putting it into your throat, whatever you need. Visualize your higher self doing this. If you can't visualize them as a person, just see it as their higher self doing this ritual for you. But you're taking your power back from these people, you know? And, you know, cord cutting rituals do work, y'all. Because when I was purging a lot of people, I cried. Every time I did a cord cutting ritual, I cried. Because every time you share an emotional, like, bond with someone or a situation with someone, that's another energetic cord between you and that person. So sometimes we have to go through periods of purging. But we have to actively make that choice. My life didn't shift until one day I got up and I was like, what is this bullshit? No, I'm done. From that moment, I starved the connection, called my energy back to me. I isolated from that person. I didn't want to be anywhere around them, because at the end of the day, people can still siphon off of you if you give them an emotional reaction in whatever way. So calling my power back to me, they were no longer allowed to live off of my energy. I started to come back. I started to be more beautiful, because people can siphon off your beauty too. And that's when God removed that person from my life. They moved away. So the thing is, Spirit will make a move when you make a move. So you're not being punished. It's for you to learn a lesson right now. For you to gain that inner strength, because you're not powerless. You know, this is my power. You feel like a victim, but you're not. You're really not. You need to see the magic that you hold within. A lot of people would not be attacking you if they didn't see something worthy of attacking. You know what I mean? It's like, if you didn't have this magic within you, people wouldn't come at you. You know what I mean? So it's time for you to see that within yourself. When we don't see it within ourselves, that's dangerous. That's dangerous, because anybody can come in and take advantage. But if you know your worth, oh baby, you set the bar high. You set the bar high. And if people can't meet you where they're at, they get the boot. Because you're more comfortable with yourself. You don't need anybody. And when I say you don't need anybody, this doesn't mean you push everybody away. But it's to say, if people are not going to come correct, they can get the hell up out of your life. This is your reality. You get to choose if somebody exists. Think about the people who used to be in your life. They don't exist no more. Not to say that they're dead, but like, they're dead to you. You know what I mean? It's like, they don't exist anymore. They're not in your reality. And I saw 111 as I look up, but I feel like this is the way through the darkness, through the next gateway that you want to step into, is to see your worth. It's to realize that you are not powerless. Can't nobody make you feel powerless unless you allow them to. It's coming in. I feel like after this time, Spirit's gonna bless you with love. So the fairies want you to know that there is someone out there perfect for you. Whether this be friendship-wise or romantically, you have your people. You have your people, but you have to know your worth to be in alignment with your people, because your people have healthy boundaries. They know their worth. You know, they don't like put themselves on the back burner for other people that's coming through. And this is going to come in rapidly when you make the choice to choose yourself and to not allow other people to make you feel powerless. But this is going to come with like a lot of journaling and crying. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, it's just as simple as rising up. You know what I mean? It's rising up while crying. Okay, you're going to need to cry. So purge. But when you cry and you judge your emotions, you're not really allowing yourself to have a safe space to be heard. You need to be heard by you. Okay, I'm seeing like this purplish bluish color and it's like murky, so I feel like that throat chakra needs healing. Maybe people have silenced you a lot in your life. That's coming through. But allow yourself to be heard. Allow yourself to be seen. But that starts with you first. People can't see you if you don't see yourself. Any other messages for group number 3 from the fairy realm? Any other messages for group number 3 from the fairy realm? Any other messages from the fairy realm? So I feel like things might be foggy for you right now, but a manifestation, like things are going to shift for you very quickly. Right now you guys are in dark night of the soul, but I feel like one decision that you're getting ready to make right now is going to pull you out of that. But you have to know that you have the power to do that, claim your victory. The people who are entering your life, they're going to be very generous people. Maybe you guys are givers and you may have been around a lot of takers. Maybe this person took from you to the point that you ain't had nothing left to give. 333 as I look up. So you have to learn to communicate your healthy boundaries, because people are not going to communicate it for you. They're not going to be like, hey, am I taking too much from you? No, you got to be able to say, hey, I'm setting this boundary. And if people react negatively to your boundaries, this could be, for some people, I'm getting this storyline where maybe you've communicated a boundary and somebody like made you feel like you weren't worthy of anything anyway. Like maybe they downplayed your boundary or made you feel like you weren't good enough. Screw them. Fuck them. Okay? They were not meant to be in your life. They made room. They showed you that they were just in it to receive something from you. Okay? They didn't love you for just you. And that's how people should love you, for you, not because of what you can give them. So the high priestess popped out, but things are just very they're very foggy for you right now, and I feel like that might be causing you anxiety. So spirit wants you to listen to frequencies to calm your nervous system, maybe, because you need to be in a calm state to be able to recognize what you need to purge, what you need to heal, instead of like you're worried about getting out of it, right? You're just like, I'm ready to like get out of this, but you're not being present with what's going on right now. When you get still, I feel like this collective, the more you get still is when you're able to hear more answers. So through stillness is when you're going to receive the downloads that you need, because you're highly intuitive. You're very connected to the moon, so your intuition is through the chart. Some of you guys could have been born on I'm hearing like a number that starts with a 1, so maybe like the first of a month, or like the 11th, or it adds up to a 1. So like why can't I count right now? Like the 19th of a day or something like that, but yeah, I don't know, you guys are coming out of being heavily wounded. That's coming up. But you're being heavily protected right now. I'm hearing Archangel Michael could be working with you guys as well. You can always call on him to cut cords for you with his sword of light. Okay, I do that all the time before I go to bed. When you're done interacting with people in the day, cut energetic cords with them and call your energy back to you. Charge and cleanse. It's good spiritual hygiene. And if you guys are very much my spiritual beings, which I know you are because you're very connected to the moon, call your energy back to you. Okay. So this is an opportunity to show up differently. Take your power back by not giving them the reaction they want from you. They are irrelevant. They came to teach you a lesson to benefit your growth and help you level up spiritually. Thank you and goodbye. So this makes me think about that energy vampire that was in my life. And, I was coming out of affirming a new version of myself. So I wanted a completely new identity where I wasn't this angry person. So I've been tested multiple times, but this was my final boss for spirit to say, are you truly done with the tit for tat energy? Because I used to be very much tit for tat, and I'll beat you up on that, on God. But I had to come out of that energy because, babes, there was no rest. All my life I had to fight, I'm cursing this person out, cursing that person out, at the end of the day, I have no energy for myself. So this person knew that, right? Because, they knew my past. So they would try to, irritate me, push my buttons, specifically just for a reaction. So there's a lot of people in the world that just behave like that. So I had to really swallow, breathe through it, journal about my triggers, and not engage. Because not every battle needs to be won. There's a part in the Bible where my dad was telling me, he was like, if every truth was to be known, there would be no peace. So sometimes, telling people about themselves only leads to more drama. No, not everybody want to hear the truth. Some people just want your energy. Okay, so it's really important that you discern what arguments are worthy of being like engaged in. Arguments drain your energy, they lower your vibration. So having healthy communication, you can communicate your boundaries, say, hey, I'm not engaging in this with you. Or you can just walk away, remove yourself, you know, but it doesn't make you weak. You know, a lot of times we get it confused. We think that strength is you reacting, but it's not, it's weakness. You know, I felt more powerless when I used to react all the time. I feel more powerful now because I'm not giving my energy away. And this person didn't have a source to feed off of anymore because they reacted, they got their fix from my emotional reactions. So this is how we stop feeding energy vampires in our life and realize they don't give a shit about the truth. They don't give a crap about the truth. Okay, they're not doing their healing, you're doing your healing. So when you use them to learn whatever they came to teach you, they have to be elevated out of your life. And that'd be shocking people because they'd be like, what the hell? Like, all of a sudden you don't give a shit about me? Or all of a sudden you're doing your own thing? People hate to see you doing good after they try to knock you down. So choosing yourself, always choosing yourself over whoever trying to make you feel small. Okay? That's how you level up spiritually. Learn the lesson so you don't repeat the pattern. Because people like that exist all over. Some of you guys could be seeing the number 1818 that's coming up. Let's see. Any other messages for group number 3, Spirit? Oh yeah, that's the same card I saw before. So this is just their opportunity to show up differently. That's what Spirit is saying, you know. These people, they're only as powerful as we make them, you know. Learn a new skill is coming up as well. So, you know, this is making me think of, like, also another thing when I was calling my energy back to me, cutting energetic cords, a way that I moved out of that timeline was to choose myself. Start putting that energy that I put in them onto me. Because, you know, a lot of times we like to look, confirmation verb, outside of ourselves for validation, or we try to, like, I don't know, put the amount of effort that we should be putting on ourselves in other people because there's a wound in us that makes us feel like, okay, we have to earn their approval, their validation, all this other things. There's so many reasons why we do that. But, you know, when you start to choose yourself, start to choose the timeline that you want, then it shifts. You are the shift. So you get to shift when you decide that you're ready to shift. Instead of sitting around, like, reminiscing about all the painful times, all the heartache. Feel your emotions, process your emotions, of course. Cry if you need to, but put that energy into you. Put that energy into your creative crafts. What do you want to manifest? What kind of life do you want to live? This person, yes, it didn't work out. Mourn that. Feel that. But know that better is coming, and it's not the end of the world, because guess what? The people you are aligning with are way better than what you're letting go. I'm going to let you know right now. Way better than what you're letting go of. Okay? You know the answer already, so that's for some of you guys. Set intentions. Visualize that energy going into a flame. Flame meditation could be very significant for you guys. Connect with the flame. Visualize your new life that you want to step into. That's a form of manifestation as well. Starseed. You guys could have picked another pile. Purge negative energy in and around you. 417 hertz. Yes. Okay. You have learned the lesson. Time to move forward. Okay, all right. So we have Snake at the bottom as well. So this person, they came for your transformation, for your growth, for you to elevate spiritually. So it's all about how we see things, our perspective. You know, we can be like, oh my God, Spirit's like abandoning me or doing me dirty because what is this that I'm experiencing? Or we could be like, what is this trying to teach me right now? What is this situation trying to teach me right now? When we slow down and take ourselves out of the victim mentality and ask ourselves, how can I leave this situation feeling more empowered? What were the lessons this person came to teach me? This is not to say that those emotions are, like, to invalidate your emotions. Still feel your emotions. However, you are not powerless. How can you gain your power from the situation? Reclaim your power from the situation. So that's coming up. What other cards do I want to pull for you guys? Actually, you're on a box that I want to use. So I'm just going to, like, it's going to be a little chaotic right now. Hold on. Wait a minute. Feel my heart's intention. Hold on, wait a minute. I left my consciousness in the sixth dimension. I feel like you guys are very much elevating in frequency right now, and you may not look like it because of all that you're going through, but you are. You are. So let's open to the Elemental Empathic Oracle, because you guys are highly emotional right now, highly sensitive beings, and this is not a bad thing. I'm gonna let you know right now. The magic is within you. You are the shift, baby. You are the shift. Whenever we decide that we're ready to shift, we've had enough of that timeline. You know, Spirit makes our timeline so uncomfortable until we're ready to actually, like, Shift is when we make the changes that we want in our life, you know, when we hit that rock bottom. So Jupiter could be significant for this collective as well. Maybe you have I'm carrying like maybe a Sagittarius moon. The collective at the bottom of the deck, you guys could be seeing 9s as well as coming out, which is letting you know that you're close to the end. Like, you're literally so close to like completing a cycle. So that's what I'm getting. It's like you are the shift. When you decide to shift is when the cycle will close for you, when you make that decision to. All is connected, collective growth supported. So your spirit team wants you to know that you are supported, and you're manifesting your soul family. You guys have soul family on this planet. Like, you're meant to meet them in this life, and you meet them when you realize your worth. So that's what this lesson was. So maybe you've been manifesting, I want my soul best friend, or like, you know, my spiritual bestie, and maybe somebody came in and they were like close to it, but they weren't exactly what you were looking for. And that's because you had to heal a part of you to be in alignment with what you were desiring. So moon phases, like I said, you guys are very connected to the moon. So some of you guys could be syncing your cycles with the moon as well. Maybe for this collective, if you're very connected to the moon, it's very good if you sync your like menstrual cycles with your productivity. So, you know, when you're feeling like, when you're ovulating is the best time for you to be like getting the most things done, because that's when you're high energy. So just looking into that and syncing like your productivity with it. And then when you're like bleeding and whatnot, rest, okay? Relating, comparison, others, projections, self-reliance. So Spirit's saying that a lot of times you guys pick up on other people's energies and you're wearing it as your own. You know, you may suffer from certain dark thoughts, and I feel like it may not be yours. That's what I'm getting. It may not be yours. You may be tuned into somebody's energy right now, and you need to cut cords. Boundaries, reclaim space, inner, outer, and energetic boundaries. So Spirit's really calling you to have good energetic boundaries, because you guys are tapped into other people's energies and you don't even know. It's very important that you get to know yourself, know your own energy. What does it feel like when you're at peace? Before you even met this person, before this person was in your life, how did you feel? If you were happier, then it's obviously this person's energy. You know, disconnecting from their energy and healing the wound that they came to shine the light on. You know, reclaiming your power. Some of you guys could have a rose tattoo that's coming up. I'm getting an enlightenment tattoo. What do you call that? Umlam? Don't quote me on it. Never mind, y'all. I'm not even gonna attempt that, but I know what it looks like. So let's see. Let's get some messages from your future higher self. Their future higher self who has left this timeline. What are their messages for you? Their messages for you. You're from your future higher self. You're from your future higher self. Okay. Bottom we have. Challenge yourself to be stronger than your challenges. You are stronger than you think you are. That's what your future higher self wants you to know. And you have made it out of this timeline. Okay? Continue to make the most of every open door. So whenever we focus on a door that's closed, so whatever ended, like a relationship, we're not allowing ourselves to see what Spirit is now presenting to us. Because even though a relationship closed, Spirit might be making room for a whole new energy to enter your life. This might be the soul family that you really prayed for. Okay, but Spirit wanted you to choose yourself. So once you've chosen yourself and allowed that door to close, you are able to see the new opportunity right in front of you. Okay, so that's coming through from your future higher self. Let go. I mean, really let go. There's something better on the horizon. I felt emotional as I read that. And I feel like your future higher self wants you to know, when you're ready to let go, good things are coming for you. Everything that you prayed for. The universe is not punishing you. They're not punishing you. They want you to let go of this pain. Okay? Because sometimes we can get addicted to our suffering. And we have to be honest with ourselves with that. You know? Always looking for an argument. Always looking for something to piss you off because you're used to that energy. Remember, angry people are always going to be angry. They're going to always manifest people to make them angry because they're used to that. You know? But when you try to make a change, you're going to have to actively make that choice. You know? Instead of being such an angry person, you're going to have to think about, what do calm people do? They listen to calming frequencies. They don't engage in arguments. You know? It's like getting new habits to align with the person you are becoming. So it's really, right now, I feel like you just need to ask yourself, who do I want to be? Who is my higher self? What do they do? How do they talk? What are their thoughts, feelings, emotions? How can I align with that? You know, really sitting with, I feel like lighting a flame, calling in your higher self, and really asking them questions, sitting in stillness, and just listen. So those are my messages for pile number 3. Thank you for tuning in. The fairies had a lot to say to you. But, you know, it's all going to be okay. All is well. This too shall pass. Bye-bye.